Stop right there. If your feet have been tingling, feeling swollen for no clear reason, or just numb like they've fallen asleep, what if I told you that the problem might actually be on your plate? It might sound surprising, but not every vegetable is helping your health, especially if you're struggling with numbness, poor circulation, or that pins and needles feeling in your legs. Some vegetables are quietly making things worse, worsening nerve damage and restricting blood flow to your feet. And here's the part that catches most people off guard. You're probably eating these vegetables regularly, thinking you're making a healthy choice. But what if those same choices are slowly taking away your comfort, your ability to move freely, and even your independence? In this video, I'll walk you through 15 foods that could be quietly sabotaging your circulation and nerve health. Among them are 3 vegetables you need to watch out for, and one in particular is more harmful than most people realize. If you've been eating it in large amounts, you could be increasing your risk of serious circulation issues without even knowing it. So, are you ready to find out which foods to stop eating today? Your feet have been sending you warning signs. Now's the time to start listening. Stick around until the end. You'll see how just a few simple changes can make a real difference in how your body feels starting from the ground up. Food number 15, bacon. It's crispy, it's tasty, and it shows up on breakfast plates around the world. But for anyone dealing with numbness or tingling in their feet, bacon might be doing more harm than good. That's because bacon is loaded with saturated fats and sodium, 2 major culprits when it comes to poor circulation. High sodium levels can cause your body to retain fluid, increasing pressure in your blood vessels and making it harder for blood to flow freely, especially to your legs and feet. Picture your blood vessels like tiny pipes. When they start narrowing from the inside, blood has a tougher time getting through. That's exactly what happens when we regularly consume salty foods like bacon. But the damage doesn't stop there. Saturated fats raise your bad cholesterol levels, which can clog arteries and make circulation even worse. And for those already at risk of nerve damage or vascular issues, bacon can speed up the decline. It's not just what's in bacon, it's how it's cooked. Frying it in oil only adds more unhealthy fat to the equation, making an already harmful food even worse for your nerves and blood flow. Now, this isn't about cutting out every joy in life. It's about finding a better balance. Swapping bacon for healthier options might feel like a sacrifice at first, but over time, your body, especially your legs and feet, will thank you. And remember, this is just the beginning. There are still more dangerous foods ahead that could be quietly affecting your circulation. Food number 14, processed hamburgers. They're quick, they're everywhere, and let's be honest, they're tasty. But if you're dealing with tingling or numbness in your feet, processed hamburgers might be one of the worst choices you can make. These fast food staples are packed with trans fats, saturated fats, and chemical additives, all of which fuel inflammation throughout the body. And inflammation, as studies have shown, is one of the main reasons your blood doesn't flow the way it should. Poor circulation means your legs and feet don't get the oxygen and nutrients they need, and that's when the tingling starts showing up more often. Another hidden danger? Sodium. These burgers contain a surprising amount of it. That excess salt causes water retention, leading to puffiness and discomfort, especially in your lower limbs, where pressure can build up fast. Ever think a quick bite could be behind the strange sensation in your feet? It's not just the burger itself. The preservatives and chemical additives used to extend shelf life can interfere with your body's ability to flush out toxins and maintain healthy blood flow. And let's talk about trans fats, one of the most dangerous ingredients in these prepackaged burgers. They don't just raise bad cholesterol. They lower the good kind too. That kind of imbalance puts your blood vessels at serious risk, increasing the chance of blockages and making numbness and poor circulation worse over time. Here's the good news. Swapping out processed burgers for homemade versions using lean meats and fresh ingredients is simpler than you think, and the benefits for your circulation can be massive. It's also about how often you're eating them. If you've already noticed tingling or swelling, imagine how much worse it could get if your diet keeps feeding the problem. Your body responds to what you put into it, and when you feed it well, it tends to treat you better in return. Food number 13. Frozen pizza. Who doesn't enjoy a slice of pizza? It's delicious, convenient, and perfect for those laid-back, easygoing moments. But when it comes to frozen pizza, the conversation shifts, especially if you're experiencing numbness or swelling in your feet. Most frozen pizzas are packed with sodium, preservatives, and saturated fats. And when these ingredients combine, they create the perfect storm for poor circulation and swelling in your limbs. That excess sodium causes your body to hold onto water, raising blood pressure and slowing down blood flow to your legs and feet. Have you ever felt heavy, swollen feet after a quick meal like this? That's not your imagination. It's your body trying to dilute the salt by holding onto fluid. And when that happens, it leads to the tingling, numbness, and discomfort that tend to show up especially toward the end of the day. And there's more. The preservatives used to keep frozen pizzas shelf-stable don't just sit quietly in your system. They trigger silent inflammation, making blood flow more difficult and contributing to peripheral neuropathy, of the leading causes of foot numbness in older adults. The damage doesn't stop there. The saturated fats in low-quality dough and processed cheese drive up bad cholesterol levels, creating the perfect conditions for clogged arteries and sluggish circulation. Now ask yourself, is the convenience of a fast dinner really worth the long-term toll it could be taking on your health? The good news is, you don't have to give up pizza to feel better. Making your own at home with fresh, low-sodium ingredients can be both satisfying and heart-healthy. Try whole grain dough, fresh veggies, and lighter cheese. You'll still enjoy the flavor without putting your circulation at risk. Food number 12. Instant soup. It might seem harmless, a warm bowl of soup ready in minutes. But for anyone dealing with tingling or numbness in their feet, instant soup can be a hidden threat. The biggest problem? The salt. Just one serving of instant soup can contain more sodium than your body should have in an entire day. That much salt triggers water retention, which leads to swelling in your limbs and puts extra strain on your circulatory system. Here's what most people don't realize. When you eat something high in sodium, your body reacts by holding on to water to dilute the salt in your bloodstream. This fluid buildup increases pressure inside your blood vessels and makes it harder for blood to reach your extremity, exactly what leads to that pins and needles sensation in your feet. And it doesn't stop at sodium. These soups are also packed with chemical additives and preservatives. While they help extend shelf life, they quietly trigger inflammation inside your body. Over time, that chronic inflammation weakens your circulation and contributes to peripheral neuropathy, directly affecting the sensitivity in your feet. Another issue is what these soups don't have: real nutrition. Most are what we call empty calories, offering little to no nourishment, while put extra load on your kidneys and liver. That only worsens water retention and makes swelling more noticeable. So if you already struggle with circulation or nerve symptoms in your legs or feet, eating these soups regularly could make things worse than you think. And remember, this video also reveals the top 3 vegetables that can quietly harm your nerve health and worsen foot numbness. So keep watching to find out which ones you should avoid. Food number 11. Packaged cakes and pre-baking mixes. Let's be honest, who can resist the smell of freshly baked cake? And in today's fast-paced world, grabbing a ready-made mix can feel like a lifesaver. It's quick, easy, and it gets the job done. But what looks like a simple treat might be quietly working against your health, especially if you're dealing with numbness or tingling in your feet. These convenient mixes are often loaded with refined sugar and hydrogenated fats. And both of these ingredients are known enemies of healthy circulation. When you consume too much sugar, it causes rapid spikes in blood glucose. Over time, those high sugar levels can damage your blood vessels and slow blood flow to your limbs. That reduced circulation is what often leads to the tingling, heaviness, and numbness many people feel in their feet. It doesn't stop there. Hydrogenated fats, often hidden in baking mix, raise bad cholesterol while lowering the good kind. That imbalance is a dangerous recipe for arterial blockages, making blood flow even more restricted. The result? More swelling, more numbness, and a noticeable decline in nerve sensitivity, especially in your hands and feet. Another concern is the preservatives and artificial flavorings commonly found in these products. While they help the mix last longer on store shelves, they quietly fuel inflammation inside the body. That kind of low-grade, chronic inflammation not only affects circulation but can also damage the peripheral nerves that control sensation. When inflammation starts reaching those nerves, numbness doesn't just persist, it often gets worse. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up cake. You just have to bake smarter. Try making your own at home using whole grain flours, less sugar, and healthier fats like olive oil or coconut oil. You'll still satisfy your sweet tooth without putting your circulation and nerve health at risk. Food number 10. Commercial French fries. Crispy, salty, and almost impossible to resist. French fries are a go-to snack at parties, fast food stops, and even casual dinners. But if you're dealing with numbness or tingling in your feet, this crunchy favorite might be making things worse, especially the store-bought or fast food versions. These fries are typically deep-fried in low-quality oils, packed with trans fats, and loaded with sodium. It's a dangerous combination when it comes to blood circulation. The excessive salt used to boost flavor leads to water retention, which causes swelling in the limbs and puts added pressure on your blood vessels. Have you ever noticed your feet feeling puffy or tight after a salty meal filled with fries? That's your body waving a red flag, reacting to the overload of sodium. And there's another concern most people overlook: the oil itself. In industrial cooking, the same oil is often reheated over and over. This repeated heating creates harmful compounds that trigger inflammation, damaging your blood vessels and impairing circulation over time. Ongoing inflammation like this can also impact your peripheral nerves, the ones responsible for sensation in your feet. As those nerves become more inflamed, the tingling and numbness only get worse. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up fries altogether. There are smarter ways to enjoy them. Try baking your fries at home or using an air fryer with little or no oil. Add your own natural seasonings for flavor without all the harmful fats and salt. This simple shift can go a long way in protecting your circulation and keeping your feet feeling more comfortable. And stay tuned, we're getting closer to revealing the top 3 vegetables that could be silently aggravating your foot numbness. You won't want to miss them. Food number 9. Candy and processed sweets. They're colorful, sweet, and often look completely harmless. But if you're dealing with numbness or tingling in your feet, processed candy and packaged sweets could be silently making things worse. These sugary treats are loaded with refined sugar and artificial additives. Even in small amounts, they might seem innocent, but when consumed regularly, they can seriously affect both circulation and nerve health. Here's what happens. When you eat sugar, heavy foods like candy, your blood sugar spikes. And when this happens repeatedly, those sugar surges begin to damage the lining of your blood vessels. That damage slows down circulation, especially to your hands and feet. Less blood flow means more tingling, more numbness, and more discomfort. What's more, consistently high blood sugar sets the stage for nerve damage. This is especially dangerous for people who are pre-diabetic or already living with diabetes. And it doesn't stop at the sugar. Many of these treats also contain chemical additives and artificial coloring that contribute to chronic inflammation. That inflammation further interferes with your body's ability to nourish peripheral nerves, the very ones responsible for sensation in your feet. When those nerves aren't getting the nutrients they need, the electrical signals they send to the brain become disrupted. That's when numbness, burning, and tingling sensations become more frequent and harder to manage. And here's something most people don't even think about. Many of us eat these sweets automatically, like a little reward in the middle of the day. But is a moment of pleasure really worth sacrificing your long-term health? The good news is, you don't have to give up sweetness altogether. Try satisfying your cravings with fresh fruit, a small piece of dark chocolate, or a homemade dessert with less sugar and more whole ingredients. These options can hit the sweet spot without putting your circulation or nerve function at risk. Your health, and especially your feet, will thank you for choosing more mindfully. Food number 8. Regular and diet soda. It's fizzy, refreshing, and found in nearly every fast food meal. But if you're dealing with numbness or tingling in your feet, soda both regular and diet could be one of the most damaging habits you never thought twice about. What many people don't realize is that sugar, artificial sweeteners, and acids in these drinks can directly impact your circulation and the health of your peripheral nerves. Let's start with regular soda. The problem? The sheer amount of sugar. A single can often contains more than your entire recommended daily intake. That sugar rush causes blood sugar spikes, and over time, those spikes damage your blood vessels. When circulation slows, your body struggles to deliver oxygen and nutrients to your extremities. And what does that mean for your feet? Poor blood flow equals more tingling, more numbness, and more discomfort. It's like your feet are crying out, but the blood just can't get there. Now you might be thinking, well, what about diet soda? The truth is, it can be even worse. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose have been linked to increased inflammation in the body. That inflammation doesn't just affect your overall health, it can directly impair nerve function, amplifying those pins and needles sensations. And here's something most people don't know. Studies suggest these sweeteners can confuse your brain, disrupting how it processes glucose. Over time, this confusion may contribute to serious metabolic issues. So while soda may seem like a harmless refreshment, it's actually stirring up a storm inside your body, especially if you're already struggling with poor circulation or nerve sensitivity. The good news? There are better ways to stay hydrated and satisfied. Try naturally flavored sparkling water, unsweetened iced teas, or even water infused with fresh fruit for a boost of taste without the damage. Your nerves and your feet will thank you for it. Food number 7. Beer. For many people, beer is a symbol of relaxation, celebration, and good company. But if you're dealing with numbness or tingling in your feet, this popular drink could be doing more harm than you realize. The alcohol in beer directly interferes with blood circulation and can worsen conditions like peripheral neuropathy, of the leading causes of tingling, numbness, and loss of sensation in the limbs. Here's what happens. When you drink alcohol, it causes your blood vessels to temporarily expand. That might feel warm or even relaxing at first, but don't be fooled. That brief sense of comfort is quickly followed by a rebound effect. After the initial dilation, your blood vessels constrict, slowing down blood flow. That reduced circulation makes it harder for blood to reach your legs and feet, often leading to swelling, tingling, and numbness. And over time, alcohol can cause direct damage to your peripheral nerves, especially with frequent or heavy drinking. This condition, known as alcoholic neuropathy, brings symptoms like burning sensations, muscle weakness, and a gradual loss of feeling in your limbs. But it doesn't stop there. Beer is also high in carbohydrates and sugars, which can spike your blood sugar, another risk factor if you're already dealing with circulation or nerve issues. Another hidden danger? Dehydration. Alcohol acts as a diuretic, meaning it makes you lose more fluids. This thickens the blood and makes it harder to circulate, put even more stress on your vascular system. If unwinding with a beer is something you enjoy, the good news is you don't have to give it up entirely. Just be mindful. Choose alcohol-free alternatives, or switch to iced tea or natural fruit juice when possible. And if you do drink, save it for special occasions and always balance it out with water to help minimize the impact. And stay tuned, we're getting closer to revealing the top 3 vegetables that may be quietly worsening the numbness in your feet. Food number 6. Milk chocolate. It's smooth, comforting, and for many, it feels like a warm hug in edible form. Milk chocolate is one of the world's most beloved treats, but when it comes to circulation and foot numbness, it can also be one of the most harmful. As delicious as it is, milk chocolate is packed with sugar and saturated fats. And when those two come together, it can do real damage to your blood vessels. The excess sugar in milk chocolate causes your blood sugar to spike rapidly. These spikes not only weaken your blood vessels but also promote inflammation in your peripheral nerves, making tingling and numbness worse. Think of your circulatory system like a flowing river. Now imagine pouring sugar into it. The river gets thicker, slower, and nutrients have a harder time reaching your limbs. On the flip side, the saturated fats in milk chocolate raise bad cholesterol and encourage the buildup of fatty plaques in your arteries. As those arteries narrow, blood flow to your hands and feet slows down. And the slower the flow, the more intense the numbness and tingling become. Another issue? Because it's so sweet and satisfying, it's easy to overdo it. Ever had that moment where you reach for just one more square and suddenly realize the whole bar is gone? That kind of mindless eating becomes a habit, and habits like that can quietly worsen your symptoms over time. But here's the good news. Not all chocolate is the enemy. Dark chocolate, especially those with a high cocoa content, actually contains antioxidants that may support circulation if eaten in moderation. The difference is in the ingredients. Less sugar, less bad fat, and a few real benefits for your body. So next time a craving hits, pause and ask yourself, is it worth compromising your circulation for a fleeting bite of pleasure? Choosing smarter alternatives might seem like a small step, but it can have a powerful impact on how you feel, move, and live each day. Food number 5. White and refined bread. It might look innocent, a soft sandwich roll or a warm slice of French baguette, but for anyone dealing with tingling or numbness in their feet, white bread could be one of the most overlooked triggers. Made from refined flour, these breads go through a process that strips away most of their fiber and nutrients, leaving behind a product that quickly turns into sugar in your bloodstream. And what does that have to do with numbness? Everything. Spikes in blood glucose can damage your blood vessels and weaken circulation, especially to the extremities, leading to more swelling, more tingling, and more discomfort. When you eat white bread regularly, your body is hit with fast-absorbing carbohydrates that trigger insulin spikes and fuel silent inflammation. That inflammation doesn't just stay in your gut, it reaches your peripheral nerves, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach your feet. And there's another problem: the lack of fiber. Without it, your body has no buffer to slow down sugar absorption. That means glucose floods your system, overloading your blood vessels and worsening symptoms like numbness and swelling. But don't worry, you don't have to give up bread. The key is choosing smarter options. Whole grain bread made with seeds and whole wheat is rich in fiber, which helps stabilize blood sugar and support healthy blood flow. Pair it with lean protein like eggs or cottage cheese, and you'll stay fuller longer without putting extra stress on your blood vessels. So next time you're standing in front of the bakery counter, take a moment. That white loaf might look familiar and comforting, but your body, especially your feet, will thank you for reaching for something more nourishing. Food number 4. Commercial ice cream. It's cold, creamy, and oh so satisfying, especially on a hot day. But if you're experiencing numbness or tingling in your feet, that tempting scoop of ice cream could be doing more harm than good. Most commercial ice creams are loaded with refined sugar, trans fats, and chemical additives. And while they taste like a treat, their impact on your body, especially your circulation and nerve health, can be serious. The high sugar content causes sharp spikes in blood glucose, and over time those repeated surges damage your blood vessels. When that happens, your blood has a harder time reaching your extremities, making tingling and numbness more frequent. Then there's the fat, Trans fats and saturated fats, both common in store-bought ice cream, raise bad cholesterol and promote plaque buildup in your arteries. Narrower arteries mean less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching your feet. The result? Swollen, heavy legs, and that constant, uncomfortable numbness. It gets worse. Many commercial ice creams contain artificial flavors and food dyes, which are known to trigger inflammation in the body. That inflammation only makes poor circulation worse, and can even affect the nerves responsible for feeling in your feet. And don't forget, the cold temperature of ice cream causes your blood vessels to constrict temporarily. That might not sound like a big deal, but for someone already struggling with nerve pain or poor circulation, it's one more reason your feet feel stiff, tight, or asleep. Now here's the good news. You don't have to give up ice cream entirely. There are healthier alternatives like homemade frozen treats made with real fruit, yogurt, and no refined sugar. These options can still cool you down and satisfy your sweet tooth without compromising your health. And now, we're getting into the final stretch. Coming up next, the top 3 vegetables that, if eaten in excess, could quietly be harming your feet. Vegetable number 3. Spinach. Spinach, often hailed as a superfood. It's rich, green, and packed with nutrients that promise strength, vitality, and better health. But for some people, especially those struggling with foot numbness, this leafy green might be doing more harm than good. That's right. While spinach is full of iron, fiber, and essential vitamins, it's also high in oxalates, a naturally occurring compound that can interfere with circulation and fluid balance in sensitive individuals. So how does that connect to numbness in your feet? Oxalates can bind with calcium in your body, forming tiny crystals that can clog up circulation and strain your kidneys. When this happens, your body may struggle to flush out excess fluids properly, leading to swelling in the limbs and increasing that uncomfortable pins and needles feeling in your feet. If you've ever noticed puffiness or discomfort in your legs after eating spinach-heavy meals, your body might be telling you it's having a hard time processing these compounds. And there's more. Spinach is also high in vitamin K, which can interfere with blood-thinning medications. That interference may increase your blood's tendency to clot, reducing circulation and potentially making symptoms of numbness and tingling even worse. Another concern is water retention. Eating too much spinach may contribute to fluid buildup in the limbs, putting pressure on nerves and blood vessel sand. You already know how that ends. Tightness, discomfort, and loss of sensation. But before you swear off spinach entirely, here's the key: moderation. Cooked spinach, for example, has significantly lower levels of oxalates than raw. And rotating your leafy greens, mixing in options like kale, chard, or arugula can help you get the nutrients you need without overloading your system. Spinach isn't the villain, but like many powerful foods, it needs to be handled with care, especially if your feet are already sending you warning signs. Vegetable number 2. Broccoli. It's green, crunchy, and widely praised as one of the healthiest foods on the planet. Packed with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, broccoli is a staple in many balanced diets. But if you're experiencing foot numbness or poor circulation, eating too much of it, especially without knowing your individual needs, might actually make things worse. Surprised? Here's why. Broccoli is very high in vitamin K, a nutrient that plays a key role in blood clotting. If you're on blood-thinning medication, eating too much vitamin K can interfere with how your medication works, making your blood more prone to clot. That reduces circulation. And when blood flow to your feet slows down, symptoms like swelling, tingling, and numbness tend to get worse. Think of your blood vessels like a highway system. If blood clots are like traffic jams, too much vitamin K can create more roadblocks, making it harder for blood to reach your lower limbs. But that's not all. Broccoli also contains compounds called goitrogens. In large amounts, these can interfere with thyroid function, an organ that regulates metabolism and blood circulation. When the thyroid is out of balance, circulation suffers, And symptoms like heaviness and nerve sensitivity in the feet can intensify. Another point to consider, like other cruciferous vegetables, broccoli may contribute to water retention in some people, especially when eaten raw and in excess. And when fluid builds up, it puts pressure on peripheral nerves, increasing that uncomfortable tingling sensation in your feet. Now, does this mean broccoli is bad? Absolutely not. Broccoli has a lot to offer, but like anything powerful, it needs to be consumed in moderation. If you enjoy it regularly, consider steaming or lightly cooking it to ease digestion and reduce certain compounds. And don't be afraid to mix things up. Rotating your vegetables can give you the nutrition you need without overloading your system. And most importantly, if you're on blood thinners, talk to your doctor or a nutritionist. They can help you find the right balance for your body so you can keep eating well without working against your health goals. Vegetable number 1, Swiss chard. We're wrapping up this list with an important heads up because not every superfood is super for everyone. Enter Swiss chard. Like spinach, Swiss chard is known for being a nutrient powerhouse packed with fiber, vitamins A, C, and K, plus minerals like potassium and calcium. It sounds like a dream for your diet. But if you're dealing with foot numbness, water retention, or circulation problems, eating too much Swiss chard could quietly make things worse. The main concern lies in its oxalate content. Oxalates can bind to calcium in your body and form tiny crystals that interfere with circulation and promote fluid buildup, especially in the limbs. And when fluid collects in your feet, it presses against nerves and blood vessels, making that familiar tingling and numbness even more intense. It doesn't end there. Swiss chard, like spinach and broccoli, is high in vitamin K. For those on blood thinners, this can interfere with medication, increasing the risk of clotting and making blood flow even more sluggish, especially to the lower extremities. And if you're eating rainbow chard raw, some people may experience bloating or water retention, further contributing to nerve pressure and discomfort in the feet. So, should you cut Swiss chard out of your diet entirely? Not at all. The key is moderation and preparation. Cooking Swiss chard can reduce its oxalate content, making it easier for your body to handle. And rotating your greens throughout the week can give you all the benefits without overloading your system. If you regularly include Swiss chard in your meals and notice symptoms like swelling or foot numbness, pay attention to how your body responds. Talk to a healthcare provider or dietitian about what balance works best for you. Because sometimes the smallest changes on your plate lead to the biggest improvements in how you feel. And if you're finding this information helpful, make sure to subscribe. This channel exists for a reason, to help you feel stronger, move better, and live with more confidence and freedom, no matter your age. In the video now appearing on your screen, I'll reveal 10 powerful foods that help build muscle before it's too late. Tap the screen and check it out. I'll see you there.